I'm Lee Smith. I'm the Doosan Attachment Product Specialist. I'm going to talk about proper maintenance and proper operation of breakers, of Doosan breakers. First, as far as maintenance, increasing the life cycle of these breakers, a couple measures an operator can take. The first thing we always recommend is just a daily walk around of these breakers. And the things you're looking for there is any noticeable cracks or gouges within the frame of the breaker or the breaker tool is something that you're going to want to take a closer look at to see if there's any further maintenance that needs to be done with those. The other thing that you're going to want to check out is your hoses and your hose routings. Do you have any noticeable wear on those hoses? Are the routings routed in such a way that you could have any potential pinch points of those hoses that could cause damage? So just a quick walk around of your breaker every morning before operation is recommended. As far as other breaker maintenance, really the most important is proper greasing of your breaker. Our Doosan breakers, we recommend greasing every 4 to 8 hours. This is going to help increase the life of the bushing and the life of the tool itself. When greasing your breaker, what you're going to want to do is make sure that your breaker is seated with pressure on the point of the tool itself. This will push the top of the tool and up into its furthest upright position to make sure that when you put that grease or grease that breaker, you are not just filling that chamber full of grease and the first time you fire it, your piston is going to come down on all that grease. It's going to make sure that the grease is getting to the top of the tool where it's needed, so you're not going to have any metal to metal contact during operation. Another thing to point out that you're going to want to keep an eye on as an operator, our breakers do have a nitrogen bladder. They're hydraulic breakers with a nitrogen assist. If you notice any drop off in operation, one of the first things I would check out is the pressure of that nitrogen bladder that may need to be recharged. So it's a quick process, it's a simple process, but it's definitely going to affect the performance of that breaker and keep that breaker operating so you can be more efficient with it. Now, as far as operation, a couple things to point out. When you are breaking material, you're always going to want your breaker to be perpendicular to the material that you're breaking. So that is going to keep the best pressure on the tip of that breaker, and it's not going to give any play in that breaker that could affect that bushing or wear that bushing prematurely. So perpendicular to what you're breaking with down pressure on the breaker while you're operating it. The other thing as far as operation is you're not going to want to use the tip or the tool itself for prying any material. All you're doing there is increase wear on the bushing of the breaker, and you're also going to increase the risk of the tool itself potentially breaking or snapping or cracking. So no prying with the breaker of the material that you are breaking.